Mr. President, there are system changes that can help our country. But it won't happen kung may problema tayo sa demokrasya. Sabi ng Pangulo, I am president not only of my family. And it is worth yung palakpak na binigay sa kanya. But can we add, the president is also not only the president of the administration, he is also president of the opposition. And respectfully, I believe that Senator Bato is fleeing unjustly because he cannot get justice. I believe Senator Jinggoy and Senator Marcoleta are political prisoners, and that if it wasn't weaponized, they will be able to at least go out on bail. So, Mr. President, these are things that we should talk about as a Senate. Beyond politics, beyond emotions. Sabihin nyo na mali ako, but should they be allowed to attend the impeachment? Sabihin nyo na mali ako, and they're not political prisoners, but are they getting the justice? Pantay-pantay bang hustisya o selective justice po tayo ngayon? Mr. President, I don't know if there's a slide, but if there is, please put it on. So, ang huling tanong nung anak, Tay, ang daling sabihin, common vision. Pero ano yung common vision na yan? Actually, nasa preamble ng ating Constitution. And allow me to read it. We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspiration, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessing of independence and democracy under the rule of law and a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace, do hereby ordain this Constitution. Anak, ito ang batas ng ating bansa. Pero may mas mataas na batas dito, ang batas ng Diyos. Anak, ang isang bansa na hindi niya kilala ang kanyang sarili, yung walang identity, walang mangyayari. So Mr. President, let me put that forward. Whether as individuals, as a community, as a country, let me quote Dr. Miles Monroe, identity is important. Who am I? Second, what am I meant to do? A question of purpose. What is the purpose of the Philippine nation? And third, destiny. What am I meant to do? If we understand the preamble of the Constitution, we understand the law of God, we understand our destiny, purpose, and identity, we will be on our way. So let me close by telling our mga anak, manampalataya po tayo, anak. Let us believe, but let us act. Faith without action is dead. Sabi sa Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. But it is followed by Jeremiah 29:12 and 13. Then you will call upon me and come to pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me, and you will seek me with all your heart. So that's my prayer today, Mr. President, that despite the toxic politics, despite our disagreements, let us all seek God and have faith that when we seek Him, we will find Him. And when we find Him, He will show us His plans to prosper us and not to harm us, plans to give us hope in the future. Thank you, dear colleagues, for this opportunity.
Maraming salamat, Minority Leader, and maraming salamat sa iyong mga obserbasyon. At sang-ayon po ako na isa sa pinakamabigat na problema ho natin ay yung stunting or malnutrition ng ating bansa. Kayo bilang member ng EDCOM at itong kinatawan rin ay isang member ng EDCOM, nakita ho natin na mabigat po ang problema ho natin sa malnutrition. At yan rin naman po ang tututukan ng Senado, higit sa lahat ng ating bagong finance share para malagyan po ng pondo yung first 100 days at yung laban ho natin sa malnutrition. So maraming salamat sa ating Minority Leader. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Congratulations to our Minority Floor Leader. Before we recognize next to speak and avail of the privilege hour, we'd like to also recognize a visitor from Antique, the Governor of Antique, Governor Paulo Javier, is with us today. We'd now like to recognize the sister of our distinguished Minority Floor Leader, no other than our distinguished colleague from Taguig and Pateros, Senator Pia Cayetano.
We recognize the gentle lady from Taguig, Senator Pia Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ang haba ng kwento ni tatay sa anak niya. Pero thank you, Senator Alan, for that. Ako naman, sa mata ng isang nanay. So, I was a young mother, like Camille, when I first became a senator in 2004. And ang dami ko na rin natutunan, ang dami kong sakit ng ulo, ang dami kong joyful moments in my job. My children are, my two daughters who were then 5 and 9 are now grown-ups, and my son is now 16. So, I have come to believe that the true measure of progress is not in labels or statistics alone, but in whether our children are healthier, safer, better educated, and equipped with opportunities to succeed in this life, the life na tayo naman ang gumawa para sa kanila. A few weeks ago, the World Bank upgraded the Philippines to an upper middle income country. Paano ba ang visualization natin pag sinabing upper middle income country na tayo? Seriously, dear colleagues, indulge me, close your eyes, and imagine what that country looks like. So I had more time to think about it, so I don't have to close my eyes, but really I challenge you. Di ba ang naiisip natin, blue skies, parks, happy family, right? That's always the vision. Happy family, grandparents, everybody healthy, parents that can provide for their children, 3 meals on the table, kaya umuwi ni tatay o ni nanay ng matinong oras na hindi naubos yung panahon niya dun sa traffic na 4 na oras na hindi siya makasakay dahil maayos ang transportation system, o kung sa probinsya man sila nakatira, meron man lang, katulad ng sinabi ni Senator Alan, may tren man lang doon, may bus, kung ano man, pwedeng mag-enjoy ng weekend. May mga sidewalk, bike lanes, park. Parents are watching their kids play sports or watching their kids perform in a concert. Di ba yan ang magandang weekend? Tapos yung mga bata, kumakain ng masustansyang pagkain. At katulad ng sinabi ko, healthy ang parents and grandparents dahil meron din silang health system na madali nilang ma-access. At pag holiday, pwedeng may handa. At guess what? Pwedeng umuwi sa probinsya na hindi ubos ang sahod dahil hindi ganun kamahal ang airfare na katulad ng dinadanas natin ngayon. Pero napakahirap ipagmalaki at ipaliwanag na tayo ay isang upper middle income country kung hindi naman ito nararamdaman ng karamihan ng mga Pilipino. Ano nga ba ibig sabihin nito? It means that the country has a gross national income per capita between $4,496, so 277,000 pesos, okay, to $13,900 or 860,000 pesos, reflecting the economic size rather than individual household income. So ito po ay national economic size. Hindi po to individual income. So when you look at the vast majority that are minimum wage earners, less than minimum wage earners, informal sector, hindi naman sila nandito sa income bracket na ito. This is merely an income classification. It is a way of grouping economies according to average income. It does not reflect the struggles of ordinary Filipinos, ordinary families, because this is our reality. SWS Survey 2026 reveals that 52% or 14.5 million Filipino families identify themselves as poor, while 42% consider their families as food poor. Hindi man lang makakain ng maayos. Another SWS survey of 2026 states that 23.2% of Filipino families experience involuntary hunger in the first quarter of 2026. Involuntary po, hindi po nagda-diet, sadyang wala na ho talagang makain. According to PSA, poverty incidence, this is as of 2023, is 15.5% or 17.54 million poor Filipinos. So when we celebrate our status as an upper middle income country, ang pakiramdam ng tao, you do not see us. You do not hear us. Hindi nyo kami nakikita. Hindi nyo kami napapakinggan. Hindi nyo ramdam ang hirap namin. Kaya ako po, never ho ako nagse-celebrate kahit ilang taong ko na yung naririnig na malapit na tayo mag-upper middle income. But it does not translate to a better life for most of the Filipinos.